So how is it? But how is it like you've actually done artwork based on celebrities and had them there to see it? Um, kind of give you kudos, for doing it. I mean, you've had a few artists go out of their way. There was, or not artists, but you had a few celebrities go out of their way to sign almost every print you have of them. And you're just there as a fan, like, hey, I drew this for you. I'm an artist here, and they'll go above and beyond to like sign every bit of your artwork for them.
Actually, that's actually a pretty cool story. That was I think one of the things on Instagram that you're talking about, and that was Jason Faunt. He was one of the Red Rangers, and now my favorite Red Ranger, considering I never watched Power Rangers, but
Yeah,
he's my favorite. Along with Steve, he's pretty cool, and Austin St. James, whatever, Kim likes him, so
yeah,
he's on there somewhere. Anyway, I think it was like my second or third show I ever did, which was Space City, which was right after Comic Palooza or just before Comic Palooza last year. I don't know. Anyway, he was there, and what's the guy from Game of Thrones, the sword fighter guy?
Oh, Miltos.
Yes, Miltos.
Yeah.
I don't know why I'm brain farting. All right. Anyway,
It's a lot of names to remember, man.
yeah.
You produce an insane amount of art, so it's a lot of things to remember.
Thank you. So we were hanging out with Miltos in the barbecue, and all the Power Rangers were eating at the same spot. And Kim was freaking out as we were walking up there. She had no idea who Miltos was.
Yeah.
I recognize him. I recognize people by face. Tell me anybody's name, and I'm like, who? What?
Yeah.
Huh? And but I knew who he was, and he knew of me because his sword teacher I had taught in like ground fighting and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And so he was like, "Oh, you're Derryc," and I was like, "What? What are you talking about?" Not me. And he was like, "No, you're Sourbunny. I know who you are." And then we ended up talking about like some of his books and things like that. Anyway, but the whole time Kim's like like shaking, like freaking out. It was like her Power Rangers were all there.
Yeah.
I think they were the Time Force Rangers or something like that. No one get mad at me if they're not Time Force Rangers. I'm sorry, but
Yeah, Kim has very strong and well-developed opinions on Power Rangers, and we will certainly have to have her on to discuss it in depth.
oh, she will go off on the movie. Ooh,
But if she's listening to this, she's certainly screaming that you're getting it wrong if you're getting it wrong. So
right. Or otherwise she'd be like, "Good job, you remember."
Yeah.
But they were at the barbecue table. He was coming out, I guess, going to the restroom or picking up a refill. I don't know. But I just stopped him and I was like, "Hey, don't get offended. I don't know who you are, but my girl is like totally in love with you. If you could just go give her a hug, it would just mean the world to me. And I'll give you any one of my artwork prints that you want, as many as you want, just for doing that." And he was like, "Oh man, who's your girl?" And I was like, "Her." And he was like, "Okay, grab her. We'll go take pictures." And then so we sat down, and he got the entire Time Force cast to line up, sit on the tables with her in the middle, and we just took a ton of pictures, mainly because they were excited that I programmed the phone
yeah.
to take pictures when you say whiskey. And so, and so, and so a ton of pictures. Everybody's yelling whiskey. We're just the phone's just going off. And Miltos is like, "What the hell? What's going on over there?" And then, anyway, the next day he came over, started talking to him. He actually set up my Instagram account.
Yeah.
He came over and he was looking at the artwork, and he was like, "Man, you don't need to give me anything." And I was like, "No, for real, man. Come on. If I make you a promise, I'm gonna, fulfill it." And he was like, "Well, okay." And then he looked at the artwork and he was like, "Oh, okay," which made me feel kind of good, because he was like, "Oh, this ain't shitty." Okay. I was like, awesome.
This wasn't drawn on a cardboard pie plate,
Right. And so him, I don't know, his girlfriend, I don't know, babysitter. I have no idea.
You have no idea who these people are.
Yeah, came over and signed a bunch of prints and stuff like that. And he was like, "Dude, you don't have any Power Ranger stuff?" And I was like, "Man, I just been started. You want me to do Power Ranger stuff? I'll do some Power Ranger stuff." And so that week when I went home, like, I did a picture of Jason Faunt. I don't like it, and I'm going to have to replace it.
Yeah.
But he loved it. But the whole time, I was hoping to see him at another show, and I didn't see him till the end of the year at Alamo City. And he still remembered me because he actually set up my Instagram account.
Yeah.
He was like, "You on Instagram? Because you need to promote this." And I was like, "What's an Instagram?" And he was like, "Give me your phone." For real. And I was like, "Well, I got to work the booth." And so Kim was like, "I'll do it." And she ran over there.
Yeah.
And so our first Instagram picture is him holding one of my prints in front of his sign. One of my signed prints. And then he set up the account, linked it to Facebook, Twitter, and whatever else is supposed to be linked up to that thing.
Yeah.
And set it all up. Everything. He probably knows my passwords.
He's slipping in his own little promos here and there.
No problem, man. He set it all up. He can do whatever he wants.
You can do whatever you want with the account.
Yeah. And and then when I saw him in Alamo City, no one was in his line. And I was finding a place to go smoke, because you can't smoke because whatever. Anyway, and when you're surviving off of alcohol and, nicotine, it's like, are you for real? I've been up for like 22 hours. I need a cigarette. I had people watch my booth. So I was walking back there and he was empty. And I was like, screw this. I walked over to him.
Yeah.
And I walk with a sense of entitlement. If people stop me, then I'll be like, oh, my bad, and walk a different way. But I went right straight through the exit only, for his line. Walked up straight to him, and I was like, Jason. And he was actually like, yeah. And I was like, dude, it's Sourbunny. And he was like, oh, yeah, you have my favorite print. And I was like, well, I finally did a piece of you. And he was like, for real? And I was like, yeah. And I just wanted to come over and thank you. And if you wanted one, I was going to bring it over for you. And he's like, no, screw that. Let's go look at it now. So he and his handler started freaking out. And she was like, what? No, you can't leave your booth. And he's like, nah, no one's in line.
You can't walk the floor.
And so he walks over there with me, and then he saw it, and he was like, oh, man, this is great. And I was like, well, don't worry. I'm going to do another one because we got to promote your movie that you're making and stuff like that. And so I want to do one, of your characters for that. And I was thinking about putting you in, the Resident Evil costume that, he voice acted for that.
Yeah.
And he was like, oh, no, that'd be great. And I signed one for him, and he was just like, oh, man, you think this will help your sales if I just go ahead and sign all these for you? And he just busted them out, and it was like, and I was like, wow, dude, you didn't have to do that. And he's like, oh, man, it's not a problem, man. I love it. This is awesome stuff. And I was like, thank you so much. I mean, it's amazing to me. I still get butterflies when, and I don't know, some of the other artists, I guess they play it off, but I still get giddy when these famous artists come up to me, look at my stuff, and I ask them, and I was like, now they're selling their stuff for like $40, $50 a print.
Yeah.
And they're looking at mine, and I'm like, would you ever consider doing an art trade with me? And they're like, hell yeah, let's go. And I'm like, that's awesome. So I have a ton of artwork from all these, like, in the scene, working for companies, that kind of thing, artists that have straight up just wanted to trade me prints of their work for prints of mine. And I'm like, oh, my God. And all I ever get, because I always ask them, so how do I get to break in? What do I do? And they're like, just keep doing it. You'll make it.
Yeah.
They're like, you're too good. Don't just keep it out there.
Yeah.
You'll make it. And I was like, that never helps. I want like a name, a number. Like, give me something, and I will hound that mug. Yeah. I was in sales. You don't understand. I was really good at sales.
You got to go. You got to go. Liam Neeson's in Taken.
Right.
It's like, give me a name. I want a name.
Exactly.
You hit it with the Chocolate Rain voice, and then they like, I'm sorry, Mr. Bunny. Here's the name.